ho, Musk gotta go. Hey ho, Elon gots to go. Your man Slick back behind the wood for another mind-numbing edition of the Open Bar. Never a cover, never a minimum. And anybody is welcome to hang out with us here. Well, Donald douchebag Trump and his corrupt buddy, who spent $300 million to get him elected and has since increased his wealth by $200 million, have got to be stopped. This shit is way out of line. Let me tell you, this is in-your-face corruption at the highest levels. Lawlessness like we have never seen in this country. We are heading, let me tell you, my friends, into a dark place. A constitutional crisis of epic proportions is just around the corner. What they are doing is dangerous, and most of all, it's fucking illegal. Yes, the courts need to make it stop. Trump and Musk are all but ignoring federal judges' orders to halt the suspension of government funding. Elon Musk is not vetted by the government, nor are any of the teenage twit hack squads that he has employed, that he has assembled to siphon through sensitive government computer programs that include yours and mine, Social Security payments, and personal information. It has just come out recently that one of the kids, is this the one they call Big Balls? One of Musk's teenage delinquents, a 19-year-old from DOGE, from Dodge. The teen hacker was fired by a cybersecurity firm. That was his last gig for, get this, what was he fired for? Leaking company secrets. This is who you've got combing through the government's most sensitive data, people that have not been vetted. There's no background checks for these people. This is just insanity, and it's got to stop. So a judge has ordered Trump to continue the spending, government spending, until further notice, and he has put out another order saying that basically Trump seems like they're ignoring it. So if that happens, then we have a constitutional crisis, because we have three branches of government, right? You've got the executive, the Congress, and the judicial, and they are checks on each other. And Donald Trump cannot just take an organization, a government agency, whether it's the Department of Education or USAID or the Peace Corps, whatever. You can't do it. You can't just do away with an agency. You just can't do it. It takes an act of Congress. These agencies were created by Congress, okay? You can't just do an executive order for everything. I mean, like, this is some kind of fucking reality fucking TV show, is the way... I'm serious, is the way that they're acting. It's just insane, and it's illegal. Now, one of the many, many government agencies Trump and Musk are trying to kill off is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which came into power, or came into being actually back in 2010. Elizabeth Warren put it together after the financial crisis, and it was put in place to protect consumers from, predatory loans, rip-offs by the banks, Wall Street. It's a watchdog to keep these fuckers in line. And, of course, they don't like that. They don't like having eyes on them. Why? Geez, I don't know. If they weren't doing anything wrong, they wouldn't have to worry about the Consumer Protection Bureau coming down on their ass. By the way, they have returned $20 billion in consumer relief to taxpayers that they would have been ripped off from. So your guess is as good as mine, other than the fact that they're crooks, why they would want to do away with the Consumer Protection Bureau. And let's talk about USAID being shut down. USAID is what's known in politics as soft power, and it amounts to less than 1% of government spending. People always say, they're spending all this money on these foreign countries, and, We got people sleeping in the streets. Well, it's actually less than 1%. It's a measly $40 billion that we spend on government aid to foreign countries, over 130 countries. And it also keeps us safe, okay? Because it helps keep diseases under control, like AIDS and other, bad diseases from coming here to the United States. They also feed starving people, like in war-torn countries like Ukraine and Syria. And it's great PR for America. It's soft power. And it was established by JFK back in 1961 during the Cold War to counter Soviet influence, right? Because if you were hungry somewhere, you got a meal that said USA on it. That's us, baby. We helped you. So now experts are saying that Russia and China will move in on this now that we're pulling out so they can look like the good guys. You see, this is penny wise and pound foolish. This is what happens when you have assholes that don't know anything about government. They don't know why these agencies exist. They don't want to know. They just want to break things. They just want to tear shit down. I mean, listen, if you want to reduce waste in government agencies, fine. Let's have a serious talk about it. Let's get together. Let's do something about it. But do it the right way, through Congress. Taking a wrecking ball to everything is not the way to do it. And furthermore, it's not legal. The president just can't do away with an agency that Congress created. All right? We get back to the three levels of government. You just can't cut off aid to programs. And I was just reading where some farmers are now fucked over because one of the bills that Biden passed had money in it for farmers to buy equipment, and they were going to be paid by the government to update their equipment. And so a lot of them have already bought the equipment, and now they're on the hook to pay for it because Trump, out of spite, just because it was something Joe Biden did, decided to, squash it. So, I mean, it's just utter chaos is what we have here because we have stupid people in charge of the government who don't know how to govern, right? If you don't believe in government, you can't govern. I mean, the government is only as good as the people you have in there. And a lot of people don't realize that the shit that the government does every day, they take for granted that makes your life easier. But start taking these agencies away and start shrinking the government down, and you will see the difference that it makes when you don't get your Social Security check on time or your Medicaid gets cut off or whatever. I mean, it's just a wrecking ball. Like I said, it's a bull in a china shop is what we got going on right now. And they don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit about you. And what you're seeing now is what everybody warned about if Donald Trump got a second term, that he would surround himself with sycophants and yes men who would do whatever he tells them to do. And that's exactly what he's doing. I mean, you look at some of the people like Kash Patel, for instance, who he wants to be director of the FBI, who's a complete fucking lunatic and conspiracy theorist, QAnon fucking whack job. A new report came out that he took $25,000 from a Russian propaganda organization to write an article condemning the FBI, the group of which, the agency of which he now wants to be appointed to lead. So, I mean, this is just crazy. You put people in charge of organizations that don't even believe in them or that have no expertise. But the main thing is that they are allies to Donald Trump. Tulsi Gabbard, let me tell you about Tulsi Gabbard. Our allies will stop sharing intelligence with us or be very selective because you can't trust the USA anymore. You got Tulsi Gabbard in charge of Intel, who was taking Putin's side on issues, and Assad in Syria, she's taking his side on issues. Wow. You really think that England and, countries like New Zealand and Australia are going to continue to share, government intelligence with Tulsi Gabbard? I don't think so. And, of course, Trump made his attorney general, his own personal lawyer, Pam Bondi, is now the attorney general, which, okay, she's qualified to be attorney general. I guess she was the attorney general in Florida. But I don't like that the first thing she did, her first act, was to shut down the FBI Foreign Election Investigation Team. Now, this is a team of investigators that looks into election interference by Russia and other countries. So she has shut that down, which sends a direct message to our adversaries that, hey, it's okay to fuck with the United States elections. And why not? We have a President, Donald Trump, who asked Russia to interfere in the 2016 election. Not only did he ask him to interfere, he accepted the interference, and it probably worked for him. So, this is where we're at right now. So if you'd like to live in a country where you have a dictator instead of a equal branches of government, you want to live in a country like Russia that's an autocracy where you have a strong man that just does whatever the fuck he wants and just approves a bunch of, sycophants instead of experts at their job, then this is what you got. You want to live in a country where the leader welcomes interference in his election from our adversaries? You want to live in that kind of a country? This is what I just don't get about Trumpers. I just don't get it. I mean, are they that dumb? Or they just don't get any news besides they don't tell them this on Fox News? I don't understand. I don't get it. Speaking of crazy shit, have you heard about the Trump loyalty test that's now being given to candidates for top intelligence and law enforcement jobs? That's right. You must answer yes or no to the following questions. Was January 6th an inside job? Yes or no? Was the 2020 election stolen? Yes or no? If you do not get a straight yes or no answer, you don't get the gig, you see. The other questions, who were the real patriots on January 6th? And who is your real boss? I'm not making this up. This is a quiz that's being given to people that want to be in top law enforcement jobs and intelligence officers. You have to believe in the conspiracies. You have to live in an alternate reality to be on Donald Trump's team. You can't tell the emperor that he has no clothes, you see. So what do? I mean, so you're asking our intelligence and our law enforcement officials to pledge allegiance to Donald Trump, not the Constitution. Fuck the Constitution. Fuck reality. Fuck the truth. It's Donald Trump. That's who you have to pledge allegiance and loyalty to. Sieg Heil, Donald Trump. Sieg Heil. And there's a new report that just came out that Trump is looking to purge the FBI. He wants to get rid of, basically, he wants in writing what reasons you should keep somebody at the FBI that's been there longer than 2 years. Well, what if they're working on an important terrorist case? You know, I know he's got a hard on for these people that worked on these cases that involved the 2020 election and that he tried to steal, and of course the insurrection which he fomented, and all the other bullshit. The stealing of the government documents he refused to give back. So anybody that had anything to do with that at the lowest level, he wants you gone from the FBI for just doing your job. Doesn't matter if you stopped a bombing. Doesn't matter if you've stopped a terrorist from doing bad things. Maybe you caught a serial killer. Doesn't matter. If you had anything to do with Donald Trump's investigations against Donald Trump, then you got to be gone from the FBI. Doesn't matter if you're excellent at your job. You have to be gone. It just every day it just gets more insane, and I blame Mitch McConnell for a lot of this shit. He should have impeached him. They should have impeached him back after the insurrection. We would have been through with this asshole. Also, the Attorney General Merrick Garland for dragging his feet. He was a weak selection. Biden should have fucking bailed out earlier. And also the Supreme Court for saying that the president can do anything he wants as long as it's he's doing it as president. So we'll see how this all pans out. It's going to get to the Supreme Court, and then we'll see if the Supreme Court is going to side with Trump and we become a dictatorship, we become an autocracy, or whether we remain a republic. But yeah, I can't believe you have to take a loyalty test, yes or no answers to Donald Trump.
You fought the Duke of New York. You're A number one.
Yes, you are A number one, Donald Trump.
Big deal.
A number one. All right, with some good news, Josh Allen finally gets the MVP. Will everybody just shut the fuck up about this now? I mean, we still got these assholes out there saying Lamar Jackson should have got it. And, whatever. Get over it. Josh Allen won. He deserved it. He beat the Lions. He went into Detroit. He beat the Lions. He beat the Chiefs, who were undefeated. And we could have beat the Chiefs in the playoffs had we not had a couple of bad calls there by some shitty refs. Also, he won the Art Rooney Award as best sportsman. So everything's going good for Josh. Listen, we just got to get him some more help, because obviously it's not good enough to play Kansas City the way we played them. We got to be better. We got to destroy these bastards, because if it's a close game, they're going to get the calls. They've got to get some help on defense. There is room for improvement big time in the secondary, on the defensive line. You saw the Super Bowl. It was great. Wasn't it great to see Kansas City get their ass handed to them by the Philadelphia Eagles, whose defensive line just dominated Kansas City? I mean, all those number one picks on the defensive line have paid off for Philly, and that's what we need to do. We need to get stronger on the D line and get be able to pressure like Mahomes. He was not comfortable the whole game. He was running for his life. That's how you got to roll. I know it sounds easy, but you got to find these people. All right, that's all I got for you right now. Of course, the Slick Ones Open Bar is streaming on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, and of course, we originate on Podbean, and you can stream us, or rather, you can go to slicktom.com, and you will get the list of everything, all the episodes on Podbean. Until next time, remain calm, circle the wagons, go Bills. What do we got next? Free agency, I guess we got to look forward to. Live fast, die old, and of course, weed, whiskey, and Warren Zevon. Peace out.
Hail to the king, baby.